Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Buckets and Birdies podcast.
Buckets and Birdies is a weekly glimpse into the worlds of basketball and golf.
We'll also balance national sports trends with ACC insights
and provide a lens of notable happenings of sports in our home state of North Carolina.
Two friends and industry professionals getting together to bring you 23 minutes of fun each week with shared experiences around buckets
and birdies.
He's Carter Bills, sports agent and seasoned consultant in the golf space.
Joining me on the mic is national champion, Tar Heel great, Marcus Ginyard.
Welcome to Buckets and Birdies.
Welcome to another episode of the Buckets and Birdies podcast.
It's Thursday, February 26th, and when you're hearing this one, it will be Friday, February 27th, Marcus.
That's right, because we drop all our new episodes on Fridays at high noon.
Thanks to everybody who's tuning in for checking us out for 23 minutes of Buckets and Birdies.
Yes, sir. We appreciate you.
And as positive people who like positive things, we'll start as we do always, Marcus, with our quote of the day.
Carter, the quote of the day today is rest at the end, not in the middle. Can you guess who said that?
I believe that is the late great Kobe Bryant, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I tell you what a motivator Kobe Bryant was. I hope everybody out there is feeling motivated on this Friday. Hopefully you got through the weekend and you're feeling good. But I always love hearing quotes from Kobe Bryant. Got a great book of his, Mamba Mentality, on the coffee table. Always keep that around. Matter of fact, actually, not on the coffee table.
In hand, perhaps.
In hand.
Look at that. That's a great book.
Shout out to the late Kobe Bryant. I tell you what, I'm not getting a lot of rest these days, Carter. We're over here grinding, man. I know you're out on the road running around. Where are you at today?
I have been in Florida. I am back, so it's good to be back. I've been to California a couple of times since we last spoke. I know I was in Pebble Beach when we were last connecting, but yeah, I think something that keeps me motivated and thinking how to do better every day is that 1% better every day that comes from that Mamba mentality, right? Like how to get 1% better every day, and just something to stay focused on and being the best version of ourselves. All right, and the quote of the day, Marcus, takes us nicely right into off the top.
Yes, sir. Thinking about the Olympics, man. Winter Olympics has officially come to a close. 12 gold medals for the U.S. So just exciting to see the U.S. on the global scale, on the global stage. Racking up some gold medals. I can't remember how many medals we got overall, but the 12 gold medals were awesome. You got speed skating, downhill skiing, figure skating, ice hockey. I'm sure I'm leaving out some other ones. I know I am, but just really cool to see all these high level athletes compete on the world stage, not just the American athletes, but from athletes all over the world.
Yeah.
I always love it, man. I think it's pretty cool. I don't follow the Winter Olympics that closely, but I do think it's really cool just to see these folks competing at such a high level.
For sure. It's fun to take a moment, at least to your point, once every 4 years and really get into some sports we don't normally otherwise get into. What caught your attention the most during the Olympics, Marcus? What were you into?
Yeah, for me, the figure skating. I did watch some of those free downhill free skiing. I thought that was absolutely nuts to watch people go barreling down a ski slope at 100 miles an hour. It felt like. Some obviously did not make it unharmed, but the fact that folks can do that to me is just absolutely mind blowing. But figure skating is really the only one that I really watched intentionally. Caught a little bit of some of the other things, but just figure skating for me, man. What about you?
Yeah, those figure skaters are so impressive. I think storyline wise, just seeing Lindsey Vonn work to compete and then compete even after being injured and just everything she's gone through. She's an incredible athlete. I've had the opportunity to be around Lindsey a little bit and do some work with her, and she's just phenomenal and very impressive. So was interested in that story. And then for me, for some reason, Marcus, I get really into the curling. I like watching the curling. It makes me think of like you and me at the bar playing a little shuffleboard on the highest level of scales. And I don't know how they do it. They're so good. That takes us nicely into our bucket section, Marcus. The last time we spoke, somehow, the Tar Heels have actually played 5 times in 5 very different games. Let's walk through that a little bit. We can walk backwards, starting with the last game we played earlier this week on Tuesday. Carolina defeated Louisville. Louisville, a very good team, and Carolina played without Caleb Wilson again when this injury to the hand that we can talk about, but played what looked to be one of our better games of the season.
disagree, but um, I don't feel like Carolina has really gotten to the point where they're doing the good things consistently. And I think that, that's been a largely been the conversation, is our inconsistency. So yes, we had great moments. There's no doubt about that. But I think this game was closer than it needed to be. Giving Louisville a chance to get back at the end of the game, I don't think it was a great look either. So look, winning the game ultimately is what matters. So even if it doesn't look pretty, and even if it's not the way that we necessarily want to win the game, if we do win, that's all that matters. But ultimately, just thinking about how we get more consistent to just put ourselves in better positions to win at the highest level. Because we're not just trying to beat Louisville, we're not just trying to beat Syracuse. We're really trying to put ourselves in position to compete at the highest level against the best teams that aren't going to let us make the mistakes that we've made over the last couple of games, and not really punish us for it. So um, great win. Great win, because wins are great. But think that there's still a lot on the court that this Carolina basketball team can be doing better.
No, that's completely fair. And I think I mentioned 5 games and 5 very different games, in that a couple games ago we get Henry Vessar back, and we know what the challenge is without Caleb Wilson. I think having Henry and Caleb out, we were completely exposed, right? NC State a few games ago now played an incredible game by their standards in Raleigh, and defeated the Tar Heels. But there was a gaping hole not only at the 4 but at the 5. I know you've been high on Henry since the beginning of the season. I think it showed having him back. I think he returned, right, Marcus, at Syracuse. We played a much better game there, obviously, than we did in Raleigh. It showed not only the value of having Caleb, but the value of having Henry anchor our 5 spot as well for this team.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a huge Henry Vasar fan. Just think that he creates an entirely different element for us out there on the court with not only his size, but his shot making ability, his playmaking ability, and his ability to rebound. Really just affects the game in a lot of different ways, and plays with a lot of energy. And again, you can't teach that size. So great to have someone of that stature out there as well. But um, I think it's great for Carolina moving forward to have him. Hopefully, he stays healthy, and and everybody obviously sitting on pins and needles, hoping and praying and waiting for the return of Caleb Wilson.
Absolutely. It sounds like the prognosis is there's an outlook where he returns for the Duke game. What a heavy anticipation that would be. Hard to believe we're looking March in the face, Marcus. That's not too far away.
Man, right around the corner, right around the corner, and yeah, it will certainly make that game a lot more interesting to have Caleb Wilson on the court. But excited nonetheless for that matchup next weekend.
And Marcus, you mentioned the inconsistencies versus Louisville. Fortunately, the Tar Heels do get the win. I'd say a couple of the bright spots for me, one were Stevenson's defense. I think he's known to be a great defender. He did some great things defensively in that game. And then offensively, I mean, wow, Seth Trimble puts up 30 points, a career high for him. And wow, he showed what a special 2 guard he is and an important leader for our team.
Just another great moment for a great player, a great Carolina player, having a great show out game, offensively. And, we've seen him do that a couple of years ago in that preseason game against Memphis, scoring 33 points there. And, we've seen him explode over the last couple of years, a handful of times, but great to see him, have a big time performance like that. Obviously, Coach Davis talked about it after the Duke game, but I don't think there's anybody more deserving to have those types of games and those types of moments than Seth Trimble. And you mentioned Stevenson. I think, going forward, Stevenson's going to have to continue to kind of grow into that, that role of performing at a little bit of a higher level. I mean, he's a very steady player, no doubt. Um, but just kind of taking a step up a little bit, I think, more consistently for him as he's a very important player on this team, both on offense and defense. So great to see him have a good game too. But ultimately, the last thing that I got to say about Carolina right now is just everybody's wondering, what are we doing with our free throws, right? Like such an important part of the game, such an important part of, kind of the late game, um, strategy is being able to make your free throws. And so hopefully they can figure that part out. Hopefully that doesn't come to bite us, later on this year, but got to figure out a way to make more free throws.
Without question. And I love your spirit of competitiveness, Marcus, when you talk about, winning by enough beating people when they're down. And your team certainly during your tenure at North Carolina, when you guys were up, you tend to make sure you stayed ahead. And that Louisville game was close. The Duke Blue Devils, on the other hand, went to Notre Dame, win by 30 this week. They moved to number 1 in the country after beating Michigan over the weekend prior to that. And they are looking to be clicking on all cylinders at the right time as well.
Yeah, and let's not look too far ahead, right? You got Virginia Tech coming up, you got Clemson coming up, even before that Duke game. So still got a couple of tough games to figure out how to win before we get there. But yeah, man, Duke is, as you mentioned, firing on all cylinders. So hopefully these next 2 games will get us prepared for that.
All right, Marcus, that takes us to our game and buckets this week. Which bucket getter am I? So this week, this player is from a team that we have not had a bucket getter in this segment yet before thus far this season. One of the top teams in the ACC. He actually leads his team in scoring with 16 points per game, also leads his team in rebounding with 16.3, and is leading his club again towards a top spot and one of those top 4 seeds in the ACC. Which bucket getter am I?
Gosh, that's tough. My guess is that he plays for Clemson. Can I get a hint? Does
Okay,
he play for Clemson?
we're on the right color scheme with orange as a primary color.
Okay, so he plays for UVA. I
Plays
don't
for
know that
UVA.
roster. I don't know that roster, Goat.
I know it's tough. It's a tough name too, but this is the big forward from UVA, Theus de Ritter, I believe is how you pronounce it, Marcus.
The
He is
Belgian.
helping lead the Belgian, helping lead the Who's to a really good season, 13-2. Currently sits second alone atop the ACC, only behind the Blue Devils.
I mean, UVA has been playing great basketball, different brand of basketball than we're used to seeing over the last several years. But got to take your hat off to UVA and that program, and what they're doing this year will definitely be a formidable opponent moving forward.
No question. Coach Odom has them scoring some points. To your point, it's a little different look there in Charlottesville this year.
Yep, I mean he's got them, shooting the basketball really well, moving the basketball well. They've got a lot of different options, and got some serious firepower on that team.
So we talked about the Hills beating Louisville this week. Duke went up and beat Notre Dame, as we discussed. And NC State actually lost at Virginia. And they come back with an opportunity to try and get a road win at Notre Dame on Saturday. Duke will have UVA this Saturday. So a lot of these same schools playing same schools here. And UNC will play against Virginia Tech, a team we've talked about at length on our podcast, Marcus, that seems to be in a lot of close games, certainly capable of beating anyone, even though their record's not excellent. I think they're a tough team, and I think we have to be ready to play on Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, you said it. The record doesn't really show the type of team that they are. I think they're really scrappy, and are tough, and they're going to stick around and they're going to fight. They're going to want this game. This is going to be a game that they've probably had circled on their schedule. Won't mean a ton for them, outside of just taking the pride of winning the game, but it could really knock us off our course. So, looking forward to a tough battle on Saturday. All right, Carter, as we transition from buckets to birdies, one of your favorite games, I will give you a year and you will tell me the men's basketball NCAA champion of that year and also the Masters champion of that year. This is not a random year. You have no idea why this isn't random, but I will tell you soon. The year is 1978.
1978. All right, 1978 is Kentucky and Gary Player.
Oh, how do you do that? Like, how do you do that? Do you know who Kentucky beat in the championship that year?
All right, that goes back to the Adolph Rupp times. 1977, I can tell you, was Marquette over North Carolina because that was Phil Ford. Should he not have had a broken finger, we should have hoisted another big banner. 78, Kentucky. I don't know who they beat, Marcus.
They beat Duke.
Oh, I would have loved to know that.
Kentucky over Duke.
I would have loved to know that.
And the reason I picked 1978, as we started the pod today with a quote from Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant was born in 1978.
Oh, I love the tie. Love the tie. I never know where you're going with the years, so this makes it fun.
I never know where I'm going either, Carter. So
I love it. I love it. We got birth years. We got Kobe's year. I love it.
Carter, tell us what's going on in the golf world.
So, Marcus, as we go back a couple weeks and look at what's been happening, when we were speaking last, the Waste Management Phoenix Open was concluding. Scotty Scheffler had marched to an incredible Sunday. I think Hideki Matsuyama was leading. When we hung up, what we didn't know was that young Chris Gotterup was going to birdie 5 of the last 6 holes, force a playoff, charge back, and win the Waste Management Phoenix Open. What a victory for Chris. Chris has won 2 of the first 4 PGA Tour events to that point of the season, Marcus.
Dude, that's awesome. That's incredible. What a way to win. I remember you mentioning Chris as one of the young guns to watch at the beginning of the season. So congrats to Chris Gotterup. I'm glad he was able to battle that one out.
Absolutely. Moved him up to 5th in the world. I believe he's 7th now, Marcus, but still all of a sudden cemented himself as this player to watch. He's a top 10 player in the world. I know he's somebody that the Team USA is excited about as they start to think about President's Cup and hopefully Ryder Cups in the future, because I know Team USA can use all the help they can get. And man, this kid bombs it and is special.
Let's go.
The PGA Tour, Marcus, then marched up the coast of California, goes to Pebble Beach, the AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am, which is one of the signature events on the PGA Tour, a special stop that the players enjoy at an iconic venue, and they had a great champion as well. Colin Morikawa holds on to win on Sunday and puts him back in the winner's circle really after a hiatus of not winning for a while. Such a great player that came out in 2019 with a special class of Victor Hovland and Matt Wolff, and Justin Suh was actually number 1 in the world at that time as an amateur. All 4 of those players, along with others in that class, so very, very special. Colin wins 2 majors kind of out of the gate, it seemed like. And all of a sudden, it had been maybe 18, 19 months without even a win on the PGA Tour. He'd still hung around in the top 20. A guy of his caliber of talent's not going anywhere. But I know his team and he and his wife, Kat, were super excited to win. He got very emotional. He announced, if you guys saw on that broadcast, that they were actually expecting and got emotional, which was a special moment in golf.
Very cool, man. That's awesome. Congrats, Mr. Morikawa.
No doubt. And so I just got back, Marcus, as we mentioned off the top, from Florida. This week I was in South Florida where the Cognizant Classic is happening. So the 3rd event now as we're catching up. But my focus mostly was checking out with some clients TGL, the Tamara Golf League that Tiger and Rory are behind with the indoor Monday and Tuesday nights sometimes on ESPN. Man, what a cool event live. Have you checked out TGL on TV at all?
And, I've seen some of the highlights. I have not seen it live, but love the fact that this is a thing. Just bringing more excitement throughout the week around golf. I did see that Roger Steele was in the crowd. With the microphone. I have no idea what that was like, but imagine that was fun. But it just seems like there's a lot of energy around it. That folks are kind of getting behind it, and so I'm excited to see it grow. Maybe there'll be a chance I get down there and check it out, but super excited just to, be able to watch more golf.
Absolutely. It's been great for the sport. I saw a stat, Marcus, that the viewership of TGL has got the most growth in the younger demographic on TV right now amongst all the sports. So really exciting for growth of golf and making it more interesting to a broader audience. And I think Roger's a big part of that. To your point, Roger does such a good job of making golf cool. And Roger's a good friend, was able to catch up with him a bit on Tuesday night. And man, he makes it exciting there in that arena. A job extremely well done with what they do there at SoFi Arena. So shout out to Jason Langwell and his team and everybody that make that happen down there. All right, so that catches us up with the last few events, Marcus, on the PGA Tour. And as we look back to the Waste Management Phoenix Open, talking about Chris Gotterup getting that 2nd win in the early season, he joins an elite group, Marcus, on the PGA Tour. In the last 20 years, only a handful of players have won 3 times in a 10-start window. We mentioned Chris in 2 of 4. He also won the Genesis Scottish Open as we go back and turn the calendar to last year. So only just a handful of guys in 20 years have won 3 in 10 starts. Chris joins that group. It takes us to our winner's watch game for this week. I'll give you some initials, MG, and you tell me which winner am I that has won 3 times in 10 starts in the last 20 years on the PGA Tour.
All right, I'm ready.
All right, so our first winner, he did it in the 06-07 time frame, TW.
Tiger Woods.
Tiger Woods, check. We got that one. Bingo. The next one won more than 3 of 10, but fell in the 3 and 10 bucket because he won 7 of 13 during a span in the 24 to 26 window, initials SS.
Yeah, Scheffler. As soon as you said 24 to 26, I knew that guy's been on a tear.
Absolute tear. Scotty Scheffler. Well done. The next one in 2017, DJ.
That's my guy, Dustin Johnson.
Dustin Johnson. No other way to say DJ, right? Well done. In 2014, it was done by RM.
Rory
McIlroy. You're on a roll.
Okay.
And 2015, JS.
Jordan Spieth.
Jordan Spieth. Man, you just hit for the cycle. You got all of them. Well done.
Appreciate you. All right, Carter, it is now time for our Beyond the Box Score story focus.
Everything Marcus and I talk about is Beyond the Box Score. But specifically, each week, we dive into one story from the North State Journal's Beyond the Box Score feature.
The North State Journal is North Carolina's only statewide newspaper.
For more on the North State Journal, check out nsjonline.com. All right, Marcus, and today's story has Guilford County roots from where I'm from originally to take us to North Carolina A&T, where the North Carolina A&T State Aggies defeated Hampton 71-70 in a tight game in the HBCU Classic that takes place over All-Star Weekend.
Yeah, congratulations to the Aggies. Love that this event now exists over the last couple of years over All-Star Weekend to bring awareness to HBCUs and their programs around the country. So I thought that was really cool to see one of our local squads get a W out there over All-Star Weekend.
No doubt. And what a game it was. Again, 1-point game. Trent Middleton hits a shot, goes to the line, and has a free throw to win the game. You talked about the importance of the foul line, Marcus, when we were talking about Carolina hoops. Trent steps up, hits a big-time foul shot to win the game. Congratulations to Trent and the Aggies.
Yeah, man. Again, free throws win games, and so awesome for Trent to have that moment. Congrats to the Aggies. Quick story about the Aggies. Actually had an opportunity to meet with the team and talk to them before the season started. Got connected with Coach Ross a handful of years ago when he was at Temple, and was just really good to reconnect with him and get a chance to meet some of those players. I know that those are all great guys, great students. And great young men, so really excited for their success, and hopefully we'll be able to get down there and catch a game this season. But good luck to the Aggies moving forward.
And Marcus, as you said, great to see the HBCU Classic amplified, and even better to see the Aggies bring home the W. Congratulations. All right, Marcus, that's all for today.
Thanks for tuning in to the Buckets and Birdies podcast.
That's 23 minutes of our thoughts for you. For Marcus Ginyard, I'm Carter Bills.
And we'll catch you next time.